Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Mixed Media Frenzy. And I'm doing something a little bit different today. I have done part of the layout ahead of time. I'll tell you exactly what I've done, and we'll kind of go through. I had to learn some lessons when I tried to film this, when I filmed this part. And having learned those lessons, I think the rest of the video might be a little bit more meaningful. So here's the sketch that we're doing this week. It's a really nice, simple, light and airy sort of sketch. Wreath with kind of single leaves. There's not a lot of overlapping of leaves. And photo, kind of a strong black circle there, some strong horizontal lines. Before I added anything, I did a doodled frame and some doodled lines to, bring that forward. I used a honeycomb stencil from Vicki Bouton's Wildflower and Honey collection, and I pressed some matte multi-medium through it, and it actually picked up some Distress Oxide ink that was on the stencil, and it kind of smeared some of the ink from my pen lines, and it ended up giving the honeycomb, the little hexagons, a shadow, which I thought was kind of cute. I added a cluster with a butterfly and a sprig and a clover leaf up there. I have a butterfly and two sprigs, and I don't know if I'm going to do any other embellishments down here. I may just leave that. I'm going to go a little bit simpler than usual today. I'm going to do my title here, so I want to do that first. I'm using as to define my circle, to give me some guidelines. I'm doing I've put a doily down, and I figure the doily can give some texture kind of underneath these sprigs. I've cut out a whole bunch of sprigs using my waffle flower sprig die. And the papers I've used are mostly Paige Evans, Bloom Street, but I also threw in this little tiny bit of scrap of Amy Tangerine. I can't tell you the collection. I think it's Sunshine and something. Because it has a little bit of gold foiling, and I thought that would kind of add some sparkle. And so I'm going to do a simple title here of Prom. And I've got these beautiful holographic thickers. I'm going to do several pages about Prom, and this one is the only one that had a, photo kind of the right orientation. And so I'm going to use this W as an M. And that worked out great. Normally I would start with the M and go backwards because I really wanted it right there. And that's where it is. So now I'm going to go through, put a little dab of glue on some of these sprigs. I'm going to do the ones that face out, and then I'll have a couple that face in, kind of right in here to fill that area. You can see that I have not done any ink ink splatters, and that's not what I wanted to do there. I wanted to do that, and then I want to take one of the small the smaller ones with just a few leaves and kind of have that coming in this way. So let's see if we can do that. There are lots of really pale, beautiful colors, but I wanted the every once in a while for there to be a pop of brighter color. So okay, there. Now let's go for I like this one and kind of thought it might be nice right here in this corner, but I think I'm going to go for a shorter one that doesn't have quite as much greenery, if you will. So let's kind of sneak that one in there and let it round the corner of the doily, so that I keep with that wreath look. Okay, that works. This is a cute one to kind of go this way. I like that. And I like the way they curl. And by just gluing the stem, it kind of keeps that curl. So there's another one of those. I like this one. It's kind of little berries. And it's a good one to be pointing downward. I'm trying to get these kind of fed under the doily, but at some point it may not matter because I may go back, I'll likely go back and do bling and or sequins there. Kind of like there. I think I'll just leave that one pointing that way. I won't necessarily glue it down. I'll use this. I will glue this one down, and that will hold down the long green stem. Well, it's not really doing that. Let me kind of dab a bit of glue there. There's enough on the end. And I can curl this up if I want to. I kind of like it back behind these others. Okay, I'm not just in love with how this looks. I'm somewhat losing the shape of the wreath. And I need to kind of curl these things around to maintain that and maybe fill in with something really small as it turns the corner. So I'm learning as I go here, and we'll see. Okay, go down. I'm going to use the green side of this. It kind of, I see the ring with the, I'm not a good flower arranger either, and I think that's the skill that I may be missing to make this work. It kind of is looking to me like an explosion of colorful greenery around a photo. Not getting the wreath look at all. And you know how I always say I'm okay with that? I'm not really okay with this. So, what do I do about that? Let's see. I'm adding this, and then maybe I can take one of these and cut it shorter and tuck it under the photo this way, so it's not really, we're still getting that curve. It's like these that are sticking out here maybe a little too long, and I maybe needed to anchor them a little further down there. So I may try filling those in after I stop filming. And whatever I do may help or may make it worse, right? We'll see. And it kind of looks weird without a photo there. I think as I look at this, I'm seeing that had I put them rounding in a circle, I'm not sure how to say. Had I put them on sideways, so they were heading around that way instead of sticking out straight out, I thought I could get that airy look with them kind of sticking out. But I've got this. I'm going to go ahead and stick with this, and then maybe do something else. See, this is one that could have been going this way. Or I could use, well, whatever I do now is just kind of adding insult to injury. And so I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. I don't absolutely despise it. I'm going to put the photo on, kind of reserve judgment, and add some sequins in there. Let's do that maybe right now. I'll do a few pink sequins. I'll take the bling out of the container. I don't think I have any pink bling. I do have a few purple rhinestones that might be pretty somewhere in there. But let's see, is there an embellishment that I have that might, there was a little envelope, kind of like an invitation might be in that envelope, do you think might explain that or give it reason for being there? Okay, that's kind of cute. I have a little camera here, which I normally put some bling in the center of, and I could maybe put it not liking that, maybe right in here. coming out this way. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I want that sprig to kind of go over it. Now, let me see if I can find a, that's sort of pink, but I think I'm going to go with the clear. And kind of insert it right there. Let me get it in the center and press it down. Okay, now, sequins. Let's do a sequin here, which is kind of at the terminus of that stem. Well, that's not where I wanted it. There, and then I'll probably find a, let me get, my fingers are so sticky. I'm going to dump a few of these down so that it's easier for me to sort through them. Here we go. I'll try to find a triangle where those can go. That's a cute bit of the pink color up there by the green, and then maybe up here. Is that still going out of the circle a bit much? There's a sequin that came off my finger. I'm gonna maybe put one right there. Okay, and I'll come down here. I'd like one right there off the, outside the cluster. And I might go with a white one. It's kind of, it's one of those kind of disc-like sequins that's really beautiful. There's no hole in the center. It's not quite as deeply cupped. Okay, and maybe I'll do another one here of those white. I've got quite a few little tiny clear ones, and I was thinking I might do that instead of the ink splatters. I want to add a couple of these really large pink ones, and so I thought I might do one as part of this cluster there, and there's one stuck to there. Let's see, there it is. I have two. The smaller pink ones kind of tend to stick in those. Where would be good for, let's just make a trio up here. I dropped my purple bling, but I don't really need it, I think. That's kind of a tight triangle, and the bling is too big to have that much there. I don't like it. I'm going to just leave that one. Maybe not even that one. It's too big. and the color's a little too much. So I'll take some of these tinier white discs and put over the same areas that those were, and I think it's going to look a lot better. Okay. So I kind of feel I like this black and I like the black lines. So I'm thinking maybe I will do some ink spraying, ink spritzing, but I really want to be sure to cover the flowers as well as the, let's see what I can cover that with. Maybe this. That works. Okay. I'll get the black ink, and if I can find it, I should have a black shimmer spray. Let me cover the